Yay. Hallelujah. Small favors. All right. What's going on? Anybody here? Well, no. Got to wait a few minutes. So I'll wait. What's going on? Anybody here? All right. So when everybody gets here, I got some stuff. What's up, JMK? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming. I'm finally got it working. I got some good news. I got some stuff to talk about. I was gonna text you on yes, and we're back. I was gonna text you on Instagram, but I figured I could tell you here. So just better to hear it here. So as soon as a few more people come in, I'll let you know. All right. So how's it going? So I need a drink. So you guys are packing up in California or well, California? Thank you. Still underemployed, but other than that, everything's pretty good. So I just need to be able to keep from being homeless. So I got plans though. I got no support system is what is part of the problem. But anyway, hopefully some looking for work too. Yeah, well, you're making the jump, so I guess you got to wait anyway, right? I'm looking into a company called Draver. They hire people to drive vehicles to move them from place to place for people and businesses. So you should look them up. Draver, DRAIVR. So the better your license is, the more money you can make. I've heard guys with tractor trailer licenses can make like $50 an hour. So anyway, and they're nationwide. They use an app. It's like Uber. You know, it's one of those you work for yourself kind of apps. So yeah, check it out. At least if you're driving around, you're making money. So let's see. Fingers crossed. I'm going to be filling out the application too. So we'll see. But if anybody else is here, let me know. I don't have a lot of options on these screens to tell me what's up. Oh, I got 4 people here. Look at that. I just found out. So anyone who's here, please say hi. All right. I don't know who you are or what you're doing or that you're here. So, and I want to appreciate you as much as I can. All right. God, that sounded horrible. So, all right. So I might have to say this a couple of times. So I might as well get started. Okay. George, how are you, sir? Nice to meet you. X hike. Cross hike? I'm not sure. Fill me in a little, please. So JMK, I told you on Instagram that the body from TSA is on its way. He still hasn't sent me a new email yet, so no tracking number. But I'm gonna guess you're gonna get it probably midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You should definitely have it by the weekend. That's my gut. So, and when you get it, let me know. Just send them like we've been doing on Instagram. I think that's been working out pretty cool. So, uh, so all right, we got a few people here. So about the autism build, Chile. Wow, awesome, awesome. That's a first for me. You're the first viewer from Chile. Nice to meet you, sir. So, so we're doing a build for autism. I don't know if you know that, George. That would be cool. I'm just JMK. I'm just curious uh, what the color scheme is. You said black, yellow, and blue. Is it going to be more blue than yellow, or is blue replacing the black stripes, and the yellow is the white stripes? So I'm just curious. In my mind, I picture it with more blue because I'm thinking the autism thing. But whatever. You're the artist. The singer from Slayer, Tom Araya, is in Chile. He's from Chile. Well, I know he's out of LA, but uh, no, he's Chilean. Okay, that's cool. So, so I reached out to my old job and asked them, who do I get in touch with? Turns out they have a fundraiser at least once a year. That's an auction, and they did one this year at the local golf course. So it was like all money. You know what I'm saying? So uh, they got me set up with their. Okay, George, cool. Playing bass from the city of Vina del Mar. Very cool, sir. Keep playing. Keep playing. Bass is awesome. As a matter of fact, I got to get a new one sooner rather than later. I'm having that itch myself because I started on bass first. So they got me in touch with the assistant director who's in charge of that stuff. And I haven't actually spoke to her yet. I left a message. I'm gonna do more to get in touch with her next week. I'm sure she's just gonna say, "Oh, this guy, I'll get to him when I get to him." You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to do some legwork. But I'm gonna work on getting us into that auction for next year. So we have a little time, but better to have it done and sitting and ready because I'll probably have to do a presentation and write something and the whole 9 yards. Ooh. So I'm working on that. I wrote to you that I wrote to you, JMK, that I have a guy on the line from Etsy. He's actually in Germany. He 3D prints custom knobs for guitars. He does Stormtroopers, all sorts of stuff. And it's kind of expensive, but if we go that way, it's like $75 for one knob, roughly. It could be more. And he'll do it in 3D printing. He'll show me his designs first. I give him a couple bucks. He works on the designs. I approve. Goes into production. Get the rest to him when it's done, and then he sends it. Bienvenido, George. So George, what bass do you got? Do you have a brand that we may know? So, and what kind of music are you into? So, I do got that going on, and with everything that's been going on with you and TSA, I've been feeling really good about all that. So that's awesome. I got a box. I want to hold this a little bit later. All right, I'm trying to make sure you guys don't go away. But yeah, the guitar box finally came. And I had to open it and inspect it because they were like kind of insistent. Like, hey, we know you got it. Check the box. Check the box. So I had to open the box. So because I had to do that, I went ahead and I shot a video. Play short scales, Ibanez, Micro, Squire, Mini P in my arsenal. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Well, you're in the right place because I have an Ibanez Micro, and I want the Mini P, and I have the Glary. The Glary Micro is like the smallest one of them all, and it's fun. It's hard to play it without pressing down and sending it out of tune, but it's definitely fun, and it is really cool. Like it's well made. If you want to play one, if you want to pick one of those up, go for it, man. They're fun. I love that idea, JMK. Let's get this channel to 10K. Yes, yes. That's when things start changing. The ones you're playing, George, a 28-inch scale. Yeah, that's the micro, and the Squire Mini is a. I thought that was a 30. Well, you know better than me. It's yours. The Glary is a 25.5-inch scale. So if you're looking for something even a little shorter, a little pocket base, yeah, you can have some fun with it. I like it for its body style and the quality of how it's made. Yeah, 28.6. So now I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, we have the kit. So I got some pictures and I got some video all set up in the browser, so I should be able to show it to you guys. All right, so we'll take a look at that in a bit. And guess who I spoke to just yesterday? The guy who owns T's Guitars. Torsten. He's going to be sending me another guitar. One that is going to be fun to mod because it's a Strat with a swimming pool route. But we'll get into that when I get it and we do a review on it. And this guitar is already pretty awesome, but the guitar is already pretty awesome, but I don't know. So great for my age, 70 and my small hands. Yeah, absolutely. They are nice little. They're very comfortable, very easy to play. If you got small hands, they're perfect. I like the 28.6s. I just wish they were actually slightly wider at the nut than they are. And then the neck is a little bit thin, and they tend to bend. Mine warped a little bit too much. And when I spoke to a couple other people, the consensus was, yeah, that basically they do that because it's just their skinny necks. So keep an eye out for that. But other than that, they're great. And I'm going to be trying. Eventually, I'm going to be trying to take my Ibanez Micro and turn it into a 30-inch scale base. I think I can do it if I do a 22 fret or a 20 fret neck. I got to be sure though. I got to do the math on that. Yeah, you're right, JMK. The Squire Mini is 30. The Ibanez Micro is 28.6. But I was thinking the Glary one is just as good, except it's super light. So it should be not just as good, but it should be good to not have it as a knockaround. Excuse me. Yeah, I think I can move that bridge. I measured. I think I can move it just about 3/4 of an inch. If I can get that much, and I can, because the neck on the instrument is 24 frets. If I get a 22 fret neck, that's going to cover about an inch. Right? And then I got to cover about 6/10. Right? That's my thinking with the bridge. So I might be able to do that. And if I could do that, I would be a very happy guy. So that's going to be on the table at some point. And then I have my Glary P bass, which isn't the super light one. It's actually one that I think they had a problem selling them. They were people were getting confused between the light ones. They made a proper one out of basswood with Wilkinson parts, and it was only a couple dollars more than the original one, the lightweight one. And I got that one for doing the 2 videos for them. And it's okay. It's not a bad bass, but I really want a 30-inch scale bass. I'm tired of playing 34-inch scale. Believe it or not, at my size, I'm like 5'11", and I got large size hands. I feel like I'm having to work a little too much. I would rather have something a little smaller. So I think I'm going to do that as a 30 also. But that one I'll do as a 24 fret because I'm shrinking it down. I got plenty of play with there. I was talking about the guys over at T's Guitars. They're going to be sending us their newest ST1 model, the SPR, which is PR is for SPR is for swimming pool route. So as good as this guitar is, you can do whatever you want with it, basically. I mean, it's going to be coming with 18-in-1 tuners, non-lockers, but 18-in-1 tuners. And it's got a bone nut. It's got its own neck profile, which is 12-inch radius on the top and slightly wider, about 1 millimeter deeper, 1 millimeter wider at the nut, and then all the way across, all the way down the fretboard. And the depth is about another millimeter thicker. So you got your own profile. It's singular that way. It's not at all big, but it definitely, you can feel the difference. And right, the pickups in it are the one thing that isn't going to be his usual. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. I was going to say his usual quality, but that's not really right. Sonic Bronco. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll look into that. I'll keep an eye out for the Squier Sonic Bronco. All right. I mean, I'll look out for anything if it's cheap enough. But so you know how it is. Okay, that's what people. That's got what you were talking about, right? You guys were talking about his father's from your city. That's cool. That's cool. All right. So maybe you can get lessons. Get friends. If his father's still around, befriend his father a little bit. Right? You're around that age range, and maybe Tom comes to visit. You can get a couple of lessons. That would be great. That the style you want to play, because that's fun. Playing thrash is fun, because that was me. That was me when I was younger. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you got that idea. So, anyway, sounds killer. Okay. Oh, so you didn't put the Bronco pickup in it. You put his hot rail in it. Okay. It'll definitely cover it, right? Because it's just a 4-string, right? Cool. Right. And hey, Lemmy had guitar pickups in his bass, and so did Cliff Burton. So to a certain extent, a pickup is a pickup, right? So cool. I'll have to keep an eye out, because that's within my price range. Actually, these days, in somebody's garbage is my price range. But well, that's always my price range. I'll save any guitar. I'm a sucker for that. It's like me. It's like a kitten. It's somebody else finding a kitten, and me finding a guitar. And home cancel. Yeah, and Alnico 5 magnets too. Right, because that's the way I roll generally. I always know I'm going to be getting a pretty good pickup all around if it's wound to a certain output, and it has certain types of magnets, right? And the base plates, right? Ceramics, it's brass base plates, overwound, right? Because if you underwind the ceramic, you get that super high shrill output, because you have so much raw magnetic power in the ceramic. There's no frequency cancellation or anything. Yeah, GM's got tons of stuff, but I'd love to get him to sponsor me. I should get in touch with him. I'm actually hitting up Geiker. Once you're done with that body, my plan is, once I get it, to make a video to send to Geiker to see if I can get them to sponsor the rest of the parts for the build. All right. I have my idea for the pickup. I'm getting probably a double cream GM SD clone. And yeah, I said double cream, right? So that's going to be, because it'll kind of blend with the yellow and kind of work. I want to make sure it's got a good pickup. I don't want to just get one that's going to be like blue because of blue. Yeah, I know all about that stuff. So you take your time, all right, and do what you got to do. And are you going to be able to clear coat it? Or you're just going with gloss paint. Probably just gloss paint, right? It's probably just the easiest way. So, but I'm looking forward to this. I am so pumped. And whatever happens, we're going to get this thing to some place where it's going to be right. The goal is an auction. If that can't be on the table, it's for some reason anymore, then it's going to be something else. But we're going to make sure that this guitar is uh, done right, not just giving it away to somebody, not just do something for me for the channel. It's going to be it's got to be right. It's got to be able to help everybody. We got to get the most out of this. You know what I'm saying? Okay, right. You mentioned the Miles Relic, right? Yeah, and I definitely agree with that because the Frankenstrat was a little beat up anyway, right? Plus, it was wet the day he played it, so it's not like it's ever going to be perfect. So, an appropriate level of relicing, absolutely. And Rust-Oleum, okay. So, um, but Rust-Oleum doesn't that Rust-Oleum take a while to dry? I mean, because I learned the hard way with Rust-Oleum. I got a guitar that I put some of their paint on, and then went to do a finish. Uh, I painted it white, and then I just tried to do a burst kind of thing. Well, then that's perfect. That fits right in the theme. Uh, so the guitar was I was doing a black burst white with the white finish. So I painted it white first, and then I didn't wait enough time, and I didn't finish cleaning it right, and ended up with a crackle finish. We're in the day between colors, right? Because you want it dry to the touch, but you don't want it to be quite cured, right? And then about a week is all it really needs. All right, because when I painted, I ended up using two different brands. That might have been my problem. Uh, I thought they were the same paints, but at this point, this is 10 years later. But I ended up with a crackle finish around the sides instead of having a black burst kind of thing. Although on purpose, I wasn't giving a shit about how pretty the burst was either. So you'll see it one day because it's got to get fixed. And it was my number one for a while. Now it's my D guitar. I got to get it fixed so I have a guitar that plays in D. Yeah. Well, this crackle ended up being just because I didn't clean enough soap off the top coat. I did a real quick, lazy, I got to do this now kind of thing, and I just washed it off with some water and wiped it down. It was horrible. But then I put the black on, and it just started crackling. And I was like, at first I was like, what do I do? I said, fuck it, it's crackle. Go with it. But I've only done a couple of things, man. You've done a lot more of this than me. But I have ordered my soldering gun, and it's coming. In a couple of days, I'm going to have it, and I'll be able to start learning how to solder. And this kit might actually be the one I can learn on because, well, I'll show you after I'll tell you more after we get through after I show you the unboxing. But the pickups are all 2-wire. So flux core solder. I'll look into that. Yeah. Oh yeah, the flux core. Yeah, it's got to have flux in the middle. Yeah. Right, and it's got to be 60/40, right? Or it used to be lead, and these days it's lead-free solder, right? So yeah, when I was a kid, I messed around a little bit. It was 60/40 lead solder. I'm still smart though, I swear. So we got a few people here, right? So all right, I'm going to show you guys what's up with this box. Let me go up so we can all take a look at I got about a 5-minute video. It's roughly edited for you guys, and I'm gonna dress it up, and I'm gonna do a little more editing and put the beginning and the ending on it, and I'm gonna post it for the week as well. But you guys get the first look about here. Uh, I didn't think it was going to be long enough to make its own video, but when it turned out it was, I said, all right, I'll put this out first. So this is probably going to be up for next Sunday, unless I have a problem with uh, the the company for some reason having an issue with that. But whatever. I don't think that'll be a problem. All right, so let me set this up. Okay. I should have set this part up earlier. So, 45 things. Okay, I think it's ready. Share screen. Okay. All right, can you see that? Okay, cool. So let me start this and we'll go. All right, the guitar kit from Guitar Kit World is here. And it came in an all styrofoam package wrapped in UPS tape. But it's all. Let me know if there's any issues with the sound. Let's see what's inside. All right, so quick inventory. We got the neck. Feels nice. It's bare, of course, but the fretwork, you tell me. From here, it looks pretty good. Thank you, George. I like the way the inlays look. Overall, I think it's pretty nice. I'm just going to pause you here real quick because this neck is really nice. The fretwork on it, I kind of downplayed it here, but it really is a nice work. It's a little on the rough side, only because it's a kit. So the final step in sanding this neck is probably yours. Right? That's kind of how I feel about it. Personally, it's nice. I really like the way this neck feels. It's not the standard C shape, and the fretwork is really nice. I mean, I guess you could have rounded the fret ends a little more if I want to be picky, but that's just that, being picky. Everything about this neck is really nice. I was very impressed with it. So let me shut up and let you guys watch. Got a little something. Yeah. Overall, looks really good. And the shape is a modern D. That's what it feels like. Not super thin like these modern C's that I've been getting in here. It's slightly thicker, but not a lot. It's nice. Okay. As I do this, let's just notice that this is an all-purpose box, more or less. I doubt it's worth it for them to make a box for this body shape, which is right here. That looks nice. I really like the way this looks. It's very good looking quilt. No grain showing through. It definitely looks really good. I see, um, I don't know if you can see that. There's a slight indentation there. We're gonna have to see if we can fix.
It's nice,
And
right?
a little blemish there. It looks like a smudge of dirt probably somehow got on it. But it looks good. The mahogany is nice. The size of the cavity is good. That's already pre-drilled. That's nice. Although the bridge isn't pre-drilled. Speaking of the bridge, let's check out the hardware. Okay. Here's our tremolo. It has some weight. It feels good. It doesn't feel cheap. This is definitely not a zinc alloy piece. Looks good. I think this here is a lock so that we can make this float or not. All right. That floats.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually a little bit nervous about overdoing the sanding. So I'm not sure that I'm going to do a lot of staining or oiling. I have some RIT dye, and I could probably get some more. Ooh, excuse me. Shouldn't drink soda on stream. I was actually thinking, because it looks so nice as it is, and it's got all black hardware, just leaving it natural. You know, and because I think I have enough True Oil in house, and I could just do the whole body, and then and the neck with True Oil, and it'll just give the mahogany a little bit of a darker tint, and the same with the maple. So it should just bring out the quilting a little more without me having to go crazy, because I'm worried about over sanding that top, you know, and I don't want to have any problems with this one. I want to be able to do a couple more of these. And I've actually used RIT dye before on a finish on a top I was going to put color on, and I I didn't do the sanding right. So when I put the color on it, I did a video on this. You can check it out. It's a BC Rich build. It's like 3 years ago. Uh, so I was going to do a blue burst with the black, and the black was coming out great. But as soon as I put the blue on, because I had to be careful with the sanding on the top, because it was a used guitar, I over it was easy to oversand, and I did that a couple of times, and I left a lot of scratches in other places because I didn't want to cause more issues. All those flaws that I didn't get out absolutely were showing up in the blue, and the thing looked hideous. And I just like, oh, that's it. It's black now. But I'll tell you what, that black looked great. All right, enough stories. Let's watch this. When I'm doing this and you guys, this is paused, you can see the screen the same, because originally when I did this the first time, there was a issue with a black screen. So I'm just curious how things are right now. On the playback, everything's fine, but I want to know how you guys are seeing it. Anyway, let's get back to this. No, that's not it. We'll figure that out. Feels very cool though. What's next? All right, we got a few small things. Cover, check. Sorry about
cavity
that,
cover.
guys.
Thank you card. All right, from Guitar Kit World. Okay, very nice. This is all the electronics, potentiometers, screws, strings, all the hardware. Very cool. And it's black, which is nice. Not cheap
Thanks,
chrome.
guys.
Black makes it look a little classier, in my opinion, because chrome is on almost every guitar. It's the go-to. It's the first uh, accent that goes on the guitar, the chrome accents. So now we got two pickups. Here's this, actually three.
we got the single coils, and these are closed single coils. Okay. They look cool. They got a nice look. They're ceramic magnets. We're going to see how they are. I have a feeling they're going to be pretty good. I don't expect anything on this kit to be junk, so I expect these to be pretty good pickups. We'll find out when we wire it up. Now, the humbucker. Okay, we got a closed humbucker. Looks properly potted, at least from the outside. Now, just because it's a 2-wire pickup doesn't mean that it's a bad pickup in any way, shape, or form. In the beginning, all humbuckers were 2-wire. So it just means you can't split the coils or do anything extra. What's all this? Okay, a few extras. They give you a cord. They didn't have to do that, right? You're buying a guitar kit. There's no reason for them to supply a cord, but that's a nice little touch. It's an inexpensive one, but it's enough to get somebody started. And all the different Allen keys you could possibly need for this guitar. Cool. Can we maybe get a sneak peek at what it's going to look like assembled? And there she is, guys. What do you think? I think this thing is going to be freaking awesome. How about you? So what do you think? So, ta-da! So, yeah, listen, this kit, they gave me a list of about 15 kits to pick from. Every single one of those kits was great, but was based on what I could see, because you can't guarantee anything with what you're going to get, right? The image you see isn't the one you're going to get. Everything so I had to base everything on what I was seeing, and based on what I was seeing, most of the bodies are basswood, and it's kind of a dark, dirty-looking basswood. Like it had wood that's got heavy mineral deposits, which is common with basswood. So it would definitely require paint, I think, at least based on those pictures anyway. And then there was this one, and I was all in on it right away, figuring, hell yeah, I want to do a headless guitar. I want to have a headless guitar, and this is cool. Yeah, this is crazy small, JMK. I mean, it's amazing. Once you take that headstock off, that's like 9 inches, right? There's between 7 and 9 inches, depending on the headstock. So, and that's a lot, right? And then you got the bridge, just the body ends at the bridge, right? You don't have 6 inches of bridge body past the bridge. So I'm the size of it, I love. I think it's cool. I think it's great. My concern is the setup, the bridge, and because I hear those kinds of bridges can be difficult. Haven't worked on one, so I'm going to find out the hard way. And so other than that, though, I think it's going to be a great experience. I think it's going to be a cool guitar overall. Between us, not 100% sold on the pickups because they're 2-wire, but this is a $300 kit. So everything else about it is pretty spot on. So I'm going with what I'm seeing, and going into this believing that these pickups are going to be pretty good. So all the hardware that we got is going in, and then if we need to down the road, we can always upgrade it in another mod video. Those bridges can be unpredictable, but replacement bridges do exist. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Like I was just saying, we can mod the pickups later at a later date if we need to. Same with the bridge, right? And yeah, Geiger makes some nice ones, right? So, but yeah, getting real quick back to what I was saying earlier about the finish. Yeah, I think, zero risk. What you were saying earlier about there being zero risk is kind of the way to go. I'm going to fix that little divot in the horn with a little soldering iron and wet rag. I haven't owned anything from Geiger yet, but everything is everything is gorgeous. They have the new dopamine tuners. I'm trying to get a set of those for this guitar that come in blue and gold. Yeah, yeah, and I really want a set of them in red and gold for my number one, my Harley Benton. 'Cause my Harley Benton is red and has gold hardware. Those would go so good, and you never see red tuners. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting involved with them. They actually asked me to if I wanted to work with them once before, not long ago, and I said sure, but please don't ask me to do a video for free that that it's just gonna. There's always these situations in doing these videos where you get a lot of you get a lot of feedback, a lot of problems. You know what? Let me just not say anything right now. I got to collect my thoughts on that because I am talking about a business that I want to work with. So I don't want to. I don't want to upset anybody, and I do want to be accurate about how I feel. It's nice disposals at quarter the price. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm hearing, and they certainly look the part for sure. And they came in and blew up Amazon. They came in right at everybody else's price point with better stuff, and it didn't take long for them to separate themselves. You know, and yeah, so I think a set of those in the dopamine colors, blue and gold for the autism guitar would be great. And then they have the rainbow colored bridges. I'm thinking maybe, but I'm also thinking it might just be better to go with straight gold hardware because I don't see them with a lot of other stuff in that same finish, but they do have gold. So I think we'll do gold hardware, meaning the high end equivalent of yellow, right? And I'm going to keep looking around for options for a knob. I mentioned to you the guy earlier that does the 3D printing in Germany. It's going to be $75, $80 in about 3 months for that. But there is another guy I found on Etsy who takes medallions, 3/4 inch medallions, and he presses them into dome knobs. So I found several things that are 3/4 of an inch in medallion shape that are appropriate for autism, including a 3/4 inch customizable one I can get carved out into the autism puzzle piece. And then have it pressed into the knob, and then I can have the knob colored or something like that. But now you're right back at $80 because you got to pay guy one and then guy two. So yeah, sorry, JMK. I set it up so I figured most people are going to come in and out in 10 minutes, and I have this set up for every 20 something minutes now. So I figure no people come in, they're not going to see a commercial. But I can still kind of say to YouTube, hey, I'm still trying. But so, well, okay, we're 43 minutes in. So I think this is a good time to talk about a few other things as well. I was hoping to get Snug Dorison in here, aka Snug Dorison, and Time Surfing Alien as well. Guys, if you happen to be out there, let me know. Otherwise, okay, you're probably not. But Snug Dorison mentioned a couple of videos back. He asked a question about doing Discord. So I looked it up, and I think we'll do that. I think if everyone can get on board with that, it would be a great thing because we can actually do what we're doing here. It's kind of like doing what we're doing here, but everybody can be involved in a group chat that's basically text messaging with video, right? And it's a lot more involved than that though, because this is set up for gamers, and so there's lots of different features that we could probably take advantage of, and it's free. So we could go there, and then as this channel grows a little bit more, and I'm going to move on to do memberships. Okay, memberships will be cheap, and probably some people will get grandfathered in. That might mean that I got to pay out of pocket, but even for the guys who are like going to be like in my inner circle, let's say, the people who end up being the ones who rise to the top and want to take part the most. You know what I mean? Um, the Discord will end up being for anybody who gets in early, and then eventually it'll just be for anybody who's a member and wants to get invited in, right? So, but us groundbreakers, the guys in the beginning, will already be there, and it will be able to plan and talk about things and share stuff and hang out 24 hours a day together on the Discord, right? Kind of like what you and I have been doing at JMK. You know, we talk back and forth whenever. Anyway, so that's going to become a thing at some point. And I got this other thing I want to share with you guys. I've been telling you guys about the Mods Without Fear podcast. Well, I spoke to Torsten Jacob from T's Guitars about that, and he's on board. I think I mentioned this last week. He's going to have a segment on the channel, on the show. It may not be weekly. Whatever he wants is fine. But there was another thing on Google I wanted to show you guys. Had this, okay, so here we go. All right. Okay, you see this?
Broadcast to the world live from the RJ's Cave studio, located in the city that never sleeps because the last time it tried to sleep, its wallet got stolen. It's the Mods Without Fear podcast with your host, RJ.
Just a little thing I came up with for the intro for the podcast. Anybody got any thoughts? But there's more to that too. There's going to be segments on the podcast, including this. That's fine, JMK. No worries. I can always work with whatever you give me. So, but yeah. So I'm trying to dress up the podcast. So anyway. So we got more. You don't need to see that. Here we go. Mods in history. It's got to sound like Eddie, right? So, yeah, the podcast is definitely going to be happening. I'll stop now. You guys don't need to hear everything and see everything, right? So, let me get out of this. And so, yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing with the podcast. And I hope you guys will stick around for that, because that's going to be like, eventually, there's going to be, the channel's going to evolve, right? So, I you know what? I was going to say something, but maybe I shouldn't, just because it's too potentially in the future. But anyway, yeah, so the podcast is definitely going to be happening. It's just a matter of when I find myself time to sit down and figure out what the hell's going on with OBS at this point. I have the ideas. I have some segments I'm working on. So that's that. But keep an eye out for that, because once that happens, we'll still be doing stuff like this, but at first we'll be doing this there, and then that will become its own thing. And as it evolves and becomes a stronger thing for what it is, we'll hang out. You know what I'm saying? We'll find another time to hang out. So anyway, as I document progress on Frankie, I'll just send you the raw clips. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. Just use it. You can just use your cell phone. If you don't want to talk on it, you want to do something like over it, use your recording app on your phone. You can send that separate, and I'll be able to. I can overlay that. Or if you don't want to do any of that, don't do any of that. It's no big deal. I can do all that. All right. You know, right? It's good that you tell me that you can talk, because I don't know, right? I'm 3,000 miles away, and you're typing. But I co-host a podcast called The Patriot 1776. Okay, cool. I'm guessing that's Not woke. No, I was kidding, man. I was kidding. No worries. No worries. Uh, oh, well, yeah, out in California, you guys, you don't have a gun, right? You say Patriot 1776. I think guys, you know, gun toters. And I don't want to sound like I'm woke because I'm saying that and I'm in New York either. But um, yeah, I picture guys in the Midwest. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Enough said. Enough said. It's closing in on almost an hour now. 10 minutes. So wow, what else? What else was there? There was, yeah, we talked about the Discord. We talked about, we did the unboxing. We talked about, yeah, oh yeah, we talked about the Tease guitar, right? And we talked about Torsten. And yeah, so thank you. I got you guys too. Yeah. So George, thanks for coming. You fine. But read all of what you're saying. Let me say something here so I can move you up. Call share, but the guitar did get mad. Not following. By the way, if I get the body by midweek, I'll definitely have it. That would be awesome. Yeah, you know what? If you can get it to me, maybe I can do something. I can probably share it raw on next Sunday, if nothing else. But I could probably edit something up. The sooner I get it would be better, but you know, not a big deal. Yeah, that would be great. You could send it to me via email. Or wait, you're on Insta. Yeah, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, definitely I would like to get some video from you. So I'm looking forward to it too. Yeah, I could download from Insta. Okay. I don't, you know, I'm not as fluent in Insta as you are. You're teaching me. So, but then if yeah, that would be great then. All right. So, oh, this has been awesome, guys. Yeah, that works too because I can always edit. Makes editing actually a little bit easier, you know? So, yes, it's 2,300 hours for you too. Well, you're probably are a day ahead of me, aren't you? Well, you have a good night, George. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you very, very much. Keep playing, right? And Angel of Death. Slayer. Slayer! Right? Anyway, George, thank you for coming. Appreciate you, man. Please stick around. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that, man. All right? It is Sunday now. It's 2,300 hours here too. So we're on the same line, just across the world. Right? That's what that means. I think. Yeah, we're on the same median line. All right, cool. Anyway, thank you, George, for coming by. Appreciate you. It was a pleasure having this conversation with you, man. Stop by often, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you again, man. So, yeah, we're just about done anyway. I think that's right. And you need to smoke a joint then, too, right? 2112, 420, right? I'm glad to hear that, George. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you soon. Oh, you think so? So, JMK, thank you for what you're doing, man. I really do appreciate it. And it really allows us to do something that I've wanted to do with the channel for a while, but I don't have all the skills for. And so I truly do appreciate what you're doing right now. And the fact that you're only going to have you're only going to need a couple of weeks is great. So I can get on that. I can get. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, and then I can get on that stuff with Geiger and hopefully mend some fences and get some parts. Okay, because otherwise I don't want to have to spend $100 on those tuners. I will, but because they're great and they're perfect. Excuse me, I keep burping. But yeah. If you haven't seen those tuners, please take a look at them. All right, go to the website. They're blue and gold, and they're fucking gorgeous. And yeah, I can't wait to do this, man. Bye, George. Oh, and instead of doing the black pickguard piece, I decided I'm going to try and find one that matches the blue of the autism. So, or well, whatever blue you use, right? Because that's going to be the Blue's Clues blue kind of color. So, but yeah. That's how you say goodnight. I say kidate, right? Kidate. I think that's how you say that, more or less. If I didn't brutalize it too bad. So. Okay. Buenas noches. Okay, right. Right. Buenas is good. Right. I remember that. The only Spanish I know is from working in delis. Yeah, right. I guess you better know Spanish, right? So, okay. So I think I'm going to end up putting the review for this one a little bit on hold now that I got the build here going on. So, but oops, just dropped the box. It's better now. So, you know what? I guess we can call it, man. There's only you. Well, we got a few. Oh, wow. All right. People are leaving. It's just you and me. And one other person. Say hello. Say hello. Hang out. All right. So yeah. So we got a lot of stuff going on. So I might end up putting this IYV review on the back burner yet again. But that's because I got the build. The red one's coming back soon. The bass into a guitar, that one's got to be coming back soon. He's got to be done with it soon. So I got to be getting that back soon. So we got a lot going on for the next few weeks. So I'm, back burner that one. So, but I think that's going to do it, man. It's just about an hour. So, yeah, man. And I appreciate that too. And no matter what happens, if this seems like it's going to take time, that's all it is. It's just going to take time. All right. I'm not gonna like back burner this or anything. It's just going to be a project that is going to have to happen in steps. And so that's kind of the way I guess epic stuff kind of works, right? We want to do an epic build, so little at a time, get it right, and get it to auction. Right. So I gotta go kiss some ass on my old job. And I got to kiss some ass at Geiger, get some parts. And once I get the body from you, I'm going to start making videos, shorts and stuff to try and drum up, subscribers, but not just subscribers, people who want to take part in this kind of stuff. So maybe we can start getting some donations and getting some money in the pot so that we can get this done and buy the parts we need when we can't get support from somebody. You know what I mean? So, but we'll do this no matter what, okay? Thank you, bro. Yeah, 10K hype, just autism hype. That should just get us to 10K on its own. I'm not going to promote this as anything to get to 10K. This is going to be about the build. It's going to be about telling a little bit of your story as someone who's on the spectrum, just mentioning that, what's gone on here with the chat and how that happened and all that. And then I'm going to mention that, and I'll mention TSA's family connection to autism, and how we all kind of came together and said, you know what, we got to do this. And I'm gonna make that part of the story, and I'm gonna try and get people on board just to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And get the subscribers out of that. But the goal is really to get the parts and the money and the support that we need to get it done. Right. And if that comes with views and everything else, that's great. That's part of the goal too, but it's also not the main goal, you know? And that's kind of got to be the way I do things, right? I can't run around trying to do stuff for the channel. You know what I mean? That's selfish. That's not the way you should do things, you know? So it's about doing the right thing, and then the reward comes with it. So I just really happen to need the fucking reward. You know what I'm saying? I live in a world where rent is too damn high, you know? And the paychecks are too damn low. But that's been an hour, man. So I think we'll call it here. Okay? And thank you, JMK, for sticking around. George, if you're still there, thank you. Anybody else who's still here, thank you for coming. I appreciate every single one of you guys out there. Really. So this has been a part of so you also really understand these guys, right? Because I worked with them for over a year, and I worked with the disabled people for 6 years before that. So, and mentally challenged people before that. You know, you can't use the old school terms anymore, but okay. So you're well versed in this stuff. So you know, and you know that they have a good day, and then one day they're just off a little bit and decide that they're gonna like kick somebody's ass because they're tapping their foot too much. You know, so, but yeah, so we're gonna do this no matter what. Okay, it's the time is the time it takes is the time it takes. That's all it is. So, and with that, I think we'll call Asperger's is on the higher functioning part of yeah. Okay, so you're more on Asperger's. Okay, yeah, it's on the higher functioning part of the spectrum. So, but yeah, you know what? And I honestly, I had seizures as a kid. I had epilepsy. You know, these days they tell you it's all okay, like Elon. These days they tell you you have it, you never get rid of it. But keto can get rid of it. And when I was a kid, they were experimenting with that. It wasn't called keto back then, but it was the 70s and the early 80s. But anyway, so these days they know that comes with other stuff, and a lot of it is like autism, and well, not like autism, autistic tendencies, anger issues, all this other stuff. And you know, I never knew that. Yeah, I used to be on antipsychotic meds because they didn't have a lot of anti-seizure meds. I was on Mycilin for the longest time. I was on phenobarbital for a while. They tried Ritalin as a secondary thing, but it wasn't. No, that didn't work. And Dilantin gave me a rash all over my body. So, but anyway, so yeah, so these days we know epilepsy comes with a lot of other things. So I was epileptic, and I never knew about that. So I went around my life normal, and I don't think I really was, you know. So, but back then, if you had been classified as having anything back then, you are labeled that forever, as you know, and that is the thing my parents had the biggest issue with, so the biggest fear of. So we went down that route, and I ended up blindly running around without knowing. But that's my story. Yes, no musician is normal. No, I get it. How many introverts do you know that play guitar? Okay. I'm going to like go out on a limb and say all of them. Right? We all picked it up to get chicks, to be social. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. You know, it was I want to be in my room, so I'm in my room learning how to play guitar, so that when I'm not in my room, the guy was like, this is my shield. This is my, hey man, I'm cool. Look, you know, This makes me feel better about myself when I'm 13, 14 kind of thing. But I ramble, right? So, but yeah, so there's all that. So with that personal, and then with my work history, yeah, we got to do this. So it's just going to be a matter of when, not if. All right, I just got to figure out the right place. And if I can't do this auction, I got to look for another one. So, and we will look for another one. If I can't find it myself, I will just start mentioning in videos. Hey, we want to give this guitar to an autism auction. We don't care where it is. We want to make sure it's the right auction, and so we'll find something. Anyway, I'm gonna go, man. This is late. It's an hour 5, and yeah. So I think everything's done. I'm pumped for this, though. I'm really looking forward to everything. Doing this with you guys and getting this done. So look for next week's video, and if nothing else, I will see you here again at 10 o'clock next Sunday. 10 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock your time, JMK, next Sunday. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. I'm going to end it now. You guys have been awesome. I've been RJ. Until the next one, take it easy.